What is going on, boys and girls of YouTube? We are doing the last of our top 5 series for at least, the current time being. Maybe in 2 months, a month, we'll have crazy changes and we'll have to update all of them. But this is one of the first times that I've actually consecutively been able to knock out the top 5s in the same 7-day period, which is pretty cool. So, I'm happy about that one. But let's just get into it. Let's knock it out. Remember, top 5 solos. The builds are also included. This is just based off of ranked experience. The pro players aren't really doing anything consistent. A lot of the top solos are kind of playing a different god way more than the other top solo, essentially. Like one of them really likes X god, another one really likes another god. So a lot of that is mixed into the top 5. It seems like everything is viable. Overall, you could play everything warrior-wise and you're kind of not trolling. I think I'm going to have to do an honorable mention. Hopefully I remember it. I'll just do it now. I think Wukong is one of the gods that's being a little overlooked. I think he's super strong with the amount of damage that's being output right now, and people don't really give him any credit. At least I haven't seen him been getting any credit. We'll see what happens, but let's go ahead and jump into this video, knock this out, do this top 5. I don't even have my logo on in the back. What is going on, man? What is this? So top 5, we're gonna start at number 5, work our way up. Number 5 on the list, kind of funny, they're all sitting here. Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is number 5 on our list. He's doing very well in multiple roles, all the way from solo, jungle, support. Literally see him playing a bit of everything. You're exploiting teleport right now in the solo. So upgraded teleport, if you go persistent teleport, it's on a 90-second cooldown. If you ever teleport and get a kill or an assist, it reduces the cooldown by even more. You do not need Relic Dagger. It is unnecessary. The 90-second teleport is already ridiculous. So you should pretty much be at every single fight once you upgrade this. You're usually upgrading this either after Berserker Shield or after Solve, depending on how the game's going for you. It's completely your choice. Start's pretty standard. You're going into a Death Toll, 4 health potions. First back, you're going to upgrade to a Chalice of Healing because it's an expensive item. So you want to do it on the first back. Getting the persistent teleport, you want to get that online like I just said when you can. And essentially you're just looking to poke and lane with your 2, control your lane, be safe, don't waste your 3, don't waste your leap. Anytime you hit a stun combo, look to 1, use your 1 because you're maxing your 1 first to do your most damage, to get the AoE clear off and just get the AoE damage out on your opponent. You have a lot of pressure, and your gank, anytime someone ganks your lane, it is high kill potential. On top of that, your mid rotations are amazing. Your team fights are really, really good because your ultimate splits up the entire team fight. It's such a big, large ultimate. You have really good setup with your 2. And then with that persistent teleport in the mid to late game team fights, if you ever run to the team fight, engage, get poked out, leap out of the fight, back to base, teleport right back in. That's like a 8-second period where you'll be disengaging and getting and backing, and then you'll be back in the fight. That's like 8 seconds at max. It's a very easy get back into the team fight. In the solo lane, we're seeing Sav get picked up a lot right now. It's basically because Runeforge is really good, but it's a little more expensive and overrated just because you can go items like Berserker Shield and Glad Shield, stuff like that. So it's not being picked up as much. And then Blackthorn was nerfed into the ground, so nobody's building that. So you're seeing Sav picked up as that kind of middle ground, and a lot of supports aren't building Sav, so that adds more aura defense to your team. It's a really good item. Pridwin on Gilgamesh because you're essentially locking people down in your ultimate. Whoever you're on is usually sitting in your whole ultimate. So you're getting that Pridwin proc because your ultimate's locking them in there. Then you've got Shoguns to buff your damage while also giving you more magic defense. Very solid group of items to pair together. Getting a lot of healing out of Death's Embrace. You're then got the Caduce Shield to increase all the healing you're doing. The overall build is just very good. You're super tanky. You have a lot of power. You don't really die. And solo laners are scary until 35 minutes when finally the the ADCs and the mids are killing the solo. But that's 35 minutes. You got 35 minutes of just beating everyone's ass, honestly. It's kind of what you're looking at. So Gilgamesh, number 5 on our list. Number 4, I will honestly say I underestimated a lot. I'm paying attention to him being played in the solo lane. It's Erlang Shen. Haddix, one of the pro players for the Bolt solo laner, he plays a lot of this god. You go look through his videos. He's got more games on Erlang Shen than anyone else I've seen in this season. And he does very, very well with it because of the aggression and pressure that's put out. You see the build is very similar to Gilgamesh, except for we're not building Pridwin because the ultimate isn't super core to the kid. It's very good. It's good lockdown, but you're leveling it up last. It's not a key item item/ability for Erlang Shen. So you don't see the Pridwin. And we get a lot more out of Shoguns on a god like Erlang Shen, where you have that AoE cleave. So you're sustaining, you're clearing, you're doing a lot of damage. That's all the magic damage or defense you really need that early anyway. The Berserk Shield's going to really make you pop. And then you have Sov to make you tanky. Same thing as with Gilgamesh. They're going for health pots. They're backing on the first back. They're usually upgrading the rank 2 of their shield and getting a healing chalice. Except for Erlang Shen, you're going beats. Erlang is way more susceptible to ganks and dying and getting caught out and being CC'd down in team fights and in the ganks. So you're seeing the beads picked up rather than the teleport. It's just one of those situations where you don't need to exploit the teleport because of the immense pressure and just kind of damage that Erlang Shen consistently has. Erlang Shen's consistent damage is ridiculous. The 1 paired with the CC, paired with the knockups and the damage out of the 3, where you're trading really well because you have the knockup with the shield for yourself. He just does a little bit of everything, but it's consistently everything. You know what I mean? He just keeps doing it and it does not stop. He is ridiculous. Sorry, I was looking at the abilities. It just looks weird to see 72 transformations. I did not know that was Erlang Shen's ability name. Feels weird. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. As labeled in the final build comments, you can swap out Mantle for Kins if you want more damage. You can swap out Mantle for Magi's if you're just burning through your beads way too much. This item can almost always be swapped out for whatever you need it to be. If you need it to be a Spectral because they have a lot of crit, that can be the Spectral. If you need it to be more damage, for him it could be the Kins. It could be Pen for somebody. It could be whatever you really need or you feel you need. If it's just not, if you're like, this isn't really working, let me get rid of this, let me try something else, that's the item you swap out to try it out on. You are building the Death's Embrace, more sustain, obvious, plus you get a shit ton of HP on him. And then matchups wise, I didn't cover Gilgamesh's matchups. Most of the matchups are pretty basic. You have to learn, that 1v1, and then you also have to be very aware of ganks. That's the biggest thing, is watching out for ganks, because most of your 1v1s, you're not going to get fully bullied. You're not just going to die to them. It's the ganks that are really going to start to impact you. But Cucullin, you just straight up wild trade very well, as long as you're not getting the worst swaps ever. Anytime Cucullin transforms, you need to be a little careful. Odin, you can cancel out his elite bird bombs clear by using your knockup at the same time as he's landing with his 1 and his 2. It'll cancel it and won't do any clear. And then Gilgamesh, you just trade really well into as well, just because you're an auto attack god that really pumps out damage. Matchups to watch out for. King Arthur can catch you off guard. He's doing a lot right now while being very tanky and having a lot of HP. Tyr, just great clear at level 2. Once he hits 2, he has full clear with Bluestone, so that's something you have to be very scared of. And then Bellona. The ability to block your autos as well as disarm you really makes that trade iffy if the Bellona is playing it well. So watch out for that. So Erlang Shen number 4, I didn't expect to put that on there, but the more I see it, the more I have to throw him on this list. It's just ridiculous. So number 3, that was number 4 on the list. Number 3, I don't think number 3 will catch you. Well, it might catch people off guard. I don't know. I don't really know what you guys are thinking right now going into this season. I know what I was thinking, and I was a little off, but not completely off. So Tyr, number 3 on our list. Once again, I just said anytime Bluestone's being picked up, Tyr seems to be doing well, right? Like, he doesn't do poorly at all. He's very good because of the amount of cooldown you can get very early on him. As you see with the Glad Shield Rush, you're not going Berserker on him. You're not auto attack god. You're going the Glad Shield. And then you're also getting the Breastplate online. So you're pretty much sitting at full CDR all the time with blue buff, which is nuts. But at level 2 is when you full clear the wave. With your 1-2 combo, you will full clear the wave. At that instant is when you should start to try to win the lane early game. You should start to, once you clear, you start to poke, start to fight. That will get you a lot of early kills that people do not expect. You do have to watch out for ganks because you are squishy going into a Bluestone. Everyone who's building anything other than a tanky starter item is going to be susceptible to level 1, 2, 3, 4 ganks, so watch out for that. But your pressure and your actual ability to 1v2 is much higher than most gods. And as soon as you kind of get the feel for how much you are capable of doing, you'll realize that potential is there to make nuts plays. Same start as normal. Except for you're going Bluestone, Shield 1, 4 health potions, first back. You want to buy that healing chalice. If you're comfortable not going, you don't have to go, but it's a really good item to just have. So anytime you back, because you're packing a lot with persistent teleport, you can back teleport in as many times as you want. Same thing as on Gilgamesh and everyone else building teleport. In the late game fights, if you like mid game fights, a lot of them you're going to TP into. Right? You're going to TP to the tower, to the ward to get yourself positioned, to get yourself in the fight, and you're going to blink, you're going to full engage. Late game fights, when you're grouped up, if you engage, do a lot of damage, maybe you kill somebody, and you take a lot, you can back out of the fight. You can ult out, whatever, disengage, back to base, teleport right back into the fight. That's what you're looking to do a lot in the super late game team fights, because that health advantage you'll gain will be unstoppable. It will win you team fights. And outside of that, Tyr is very basic. You're getting CDR online because you want to spam your abilities, right? A lot of people do go into Relic Dagger on Tyr. So if you want to swap around items, I don't think you'd be, you know, having a bad game by doing it. But a lot of people have been going Relic Dagger and Wingblade in these 2 slots to give yourself a ridiculous amount of HP. Basically just to keep up your healing, and your movement is nuts, so you can avoid a lot of damage. You can rotate very easily, but with the teleport, you don't really need that movement as much. So I think going super tanky and getting the upgraded breastplate, the upgraded amulet, pretty much making you unkillable, is way more valuable for a lot of you all. Plus then you're wrapping it up with a Caduce shield, so your healing's even higher. Once again, swap out the mantle. Magi's Blessing is a really good one for anyone who's building the teleport, because you usually don't have beads if you have teleport. If you have Magi's Blessing, it'll reduce the amount of lockdown that they're going to throw at you. Nobody really wants to waste CC on a solo anyway, and then you have to burn Magi's before actually CCing them. So anytime you're in your 1-2 combos, it won't be interrupted. It's very, very valuable. So that is a solid swap. I have Mantle in here because it's a safer, more consistent item, but Magi's Cloak will be right there with it. I think it's a ridiculously strong item. If you do opt for the Relic Dagger and the Wingblade in these slots, you would push a lot of this forward. You wouldn't go breastplate. You would not go the mantle. You would look at getting amulet and Caduce shield as your other items. Maybe not even the amulet. You might just look for a Pridwin or something else to up that defense that you would be lacking, because you would be lacking a lot of defense doing that. So that's number 3 on our list, tier. Number 2 on our list, I have seen this god just doing work. King Arthur has been he's scary because he's kind of, I don't know if he's back to where he was the top, but every single King Arthur I've had on my team has had a very good game. And I think it comes down to 2 things. You're able to get a tanky starter with the sigil, right? You're getting a good amount of defense, you're getting that passive, you're getting sustain because of the glowing emerald rank 1, which is building into the Son of Gaia, which when anytime that's in the meta and actually, you know, being picked up, it is a ridiculously strong item. Then you're pairing it with Sov, which is making you extremely tanky, giving you a ridiculous amount of HP. With these 3 items, you're essentially unkillable. At that point, when you finish this item, nobody in the game can actually kill you 1v1, probably not even 2v1 with the amount of mobility you have. Then you're pairing it with the Pridwin, so you're getting even more shield burst every time you ultimate. Paired with that with the Sigil, you're getting a lot of extra damage just from having 2 items. You have teleport spam, so anytime you do mess up or get poked or anything goes wrong, you have that. Late game team fight, same thing as usual, where you can blink into that back line, you can engage, duel the damage, you can disengage and teleport back in. You can back to base, teleport back into the late game team fights. And then you have your amulet, just making you extremely, extremely tanky, and a mantle. Once again, the mantle can be swapped out. Whatever you need. I think the mantle on King Arthur is just very strong, though. I think he keeps you alive. I think that extra defense is really, really key, because the biggest thing with King Arthur right now is you're just spinning and winning, right? You're spinning, you're sustaining, nobody can kill you, nobody can stop you. And with you pumping out extra infused sigil burst shields and then the extra Pridwin burst shields with the cap CDR that you'll have off of Pridwin and having blue buff, and then the mantle will get you extra CDR if you need it. It's ridiculous. I really, really think you're kind of exploiting a lot. As long as you get these, if you get these 3 items on with line without dying once, you're going to have a really good game. Matchups wise, just play into the 1v1s, realize how the 1v1s go. All of them between all these soul laners are either winnable or you could stalemate all of them if you know the matchup. So just take the time to learn them. There's nothing I can really sit here and quickly tell you for every matchup. With King Arthur, you're looking to spin around, clear the wave, and poke while doing it. You have the ability to auto attack, cancel in between abilities. You have the ability to just spam everything and keep poking over and over and over again. So just do it. Just get used to the rotation of abilities, get comfortable, and you'll have really, really good games. King Arthur, as well, since he can take people out of the fight with his ultimate, even if you beads it, you end up taking a tick or 2 of it usually. It kind of makes him like the perfect warrior in my eyes. He's hard to lock down, hard to kill, scary to deal with, has consistent high damage, and its ability damage. It's not just stand in your face auto attack damage. It can AoE hit multiple people. It is not fun to deal with King Arthur. And if you can pick up King Arthur and start playing him well, I feel like you will be a consistently solid soul laner. And then number 1 on our list, in my opinion, it just hasn't changed. It's Achilles. Achilles is still doing it all with the teleport spam. He's able to be at every single team fight very, very easily. He kind of just out trades and baits and sustains through everything with the Caduce shield on top of his 3 healing, on top of a Glad shield rush. Your healing is ridiculous. The bluestone is going to allow your clear and your poke to be very, very high damage. You're pretty much building full defense outside of a Glad shield, and you will still be able to out trade everybody. You just do too much damage. I there isn't really much else to say. He plays just like the other soul laners, except for his ability to dodge everything with his 3 is ridiculous. Hunters aren't going to be landing autos. Your mages aren't going to be hitting their abilities if they're trying to hit you, because you have all the ability to dodge, the double 3s. You have the execute, which kind of puts you over the top of most. As soon as somebody's executable, at that point, everyone starts freaking out, and that's when you usually win the fight. So having a high damage warrior that doesn't take any damage because he's built full defense. You have the 2, which is just ridiculous. Your 2 gives you a lot of defense, which makes you unkillable as well. Remember that your 2 is a very, very strong ability. And then, pair it with a stun, pair it with sustain, pair it with an execute. It's kind of GG. Like, Achilles has just been stomping everybody. It's one of the few soul laners that I think most people can't consistently deal with. You can say lock him down, but it's not easy to lock him down. He has a CC immune ultimate that he could use if you are trying to lock him down rather than using it for an execute. He's, like I said, extremely tanky with the build, with the 2, has the lockdown, has built-in sustain. It just does it all. Same start, by the way. You are back on your first back, getting rank 2 of the shield, getting a healing chalice. You're upgrading that persistent teleport fairly early. Teleport into all the team fights. If there's a team fight going on that you can teleport to a ward on, or you can teleport to a tower on, and you can get to that team fight, do it. Miss a wave, but get 3 kills, get a gold fury, you win the game, right? Like that wave isn't as important when you realize you can win the game off this one teleport, which is why everyone's so frustrated with the item, because on such a short cooldown, you don't really lose out on much, and you're able to be at every single team fight. It's a very, very scary combo to pair a super tanky god that pumps out a lot of damage, that can also be at every team fight and has mobility out of the blink. It's scary, it's not fun. And that's that. That's number 1 on our list. That's our top 5. We did it. We did a top 5 for every role, and I honestly feel very good about all the gods on all the lists. I will be updating them pretty regularly because this is the beginning of the season. This isn't the end all be all. We aren't even seeing comp play. A lot changed. I mean, even after the first 2 days, now we're seeing Morgan Le Fay played like all the time. Morgan Le Fay is a top mid. Don't even have her on my list because she wasn't being played the first 2 days. So it's not, jump down my throat if something in 2 weeks isn't spot on. This is the best I can do. That's why I've been waiting to do a tier list. But, I feel pretty comfortable. Seems like a lot of the same stuff is viable. A lot of the same stuff is doing well. We've had some things like the Morgan Le Fay come up, some junglers shifted around a little bit, but we'll just update it as it happens, as it changes. So if you guys liked the video, please hit the like button. If you did, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It means a lot. It literally means like everything. So please subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and I will see you all in the video later tomorrow, the next day, and the next day.